You there,
Hello.
Sarge?
Yes, is this on the mark?
This is On The Marc. I'm so glad I got your call, man. I just finished with the manifesto. How you doing? How you been?
Oh, I'm doing fairly decent. Your stream that I'm watching is way behind where you are right now.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what it's looking like. A minute and a half, 2 minutes, something like that.
I think I'll find out in a minute. I got it muted right now, so we don't have any feedback. I haven't had a chance to go through the manifesto in detail,
Yeah.
but it's pretty disappointing that somebody would do something like this.
It's
Most of
terrible, man.
most of the mass shootings are always ends up being a left-wing person, and the media constantly is jumping around trying to prove that somebody is a right-wing when it turns out to be left-wing, and then the shooting quickly disappears, and nobody hears about it again. Well, they now have somebody that apparently is right-wing of a sort.
Yeah, it's right wing in the European right wing sense, but I don't know if you caught the whole manifesto, the beginning of it. But I mean, this guy, he's all about the labor unions. He's about he's anti-capitalist. He's he's into socialism.
He's anti-capitalist.
Yeah, he's anti-capitalist. He's all about break the backs of the capitalist. And
so he's a socialist.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he doesn't come out and say it. The question is asked in his little manifesto. He talks about, am I a socialist? And he says that it depends on which country is controlling the means of production and what their intent is. So yeah, he's a socialist as long as he's
which makes him left wing.
100%, yeah.
And most of the other stuff that he's trying to stir up is what they're trying to stir up all the time anyway,
Right.
Is to break apart everybody, identity politics, and have everybody at each other's throat.
100%. He's calling his followers to go out to a public square, put up a poster that says, implement Sharia law now, and then next week put up a poster that says, deport all immigrants now, and just keep doing that until you can create a huge uproar and fighting, literal fighting on the streets.
So put up a whole bunch of false flags.
Yep. Yes, indeedy.
Well,
I'm glad that you called me because you're on this every week, and it's a huge. It's a huge blessing to have you on, and I want your insight on it because for me, when I'm reading the manifesto, when I'm watching, what's going on with the media, my warning this morning and my warning now is this is a different attack. What this guy has done is horrible, horrendous, and everything else. But what this manifesto can do as far as recruiting to his side is freaking huge.
Exactly, and I'm not sure what the Muslims are going to, how they're going to react to this. So far, they've been fairly calm on the issue.
Well, I do security for my church, and we got an alert basically saying, be careful for reprisals, right? There might be some Christian churches attacked. Just keep an eye out, extra security, that sort of thing. You think that that's something we might see here in the U.S.?
We definitely needed it for some time. I've been pushing for there to be armed personnel in our schools, in our churches. They can't be just sitting there and all getting murdered and can't do anything about it anymore. We have to have armed folks that know what they're doing in the churches and in the schools. Now, I'm glad to see that there are some schools that are starting to hire the veterans to protect their schools. And there's no job that a veteran would love more than protect the schools.
100%.
So we need to really push for that, because I'm afraid of the. I did a video on this. I am really fearful that we may actually have a attack on all our schools, simultaneous attack on the same day. That scares the daylights out of me.
Right.
When we have
the mass confusion that would cause, the absolute terror that would cause, that would be horrifying.
And it's also, can you imagine what America would do if a lot of our children were murdered?
Yeah, there'd be an outcry for dropping bombs from sand to sand in the Middle East.
Yeah, the old proverbial turning it into glass. And this is just another way of trying to start a major war across the world. That's what Iran wants. They think they need to bring their 12th Imam back with blood.
Right.
Their 12th Imam being the equivalent of our Antichrist.
Right.
You look at the description of what they have for him, that's what he is, and that's what Iran is trying to do. And so it doesn't help that we've got a whole bunch of people, especially a certain party in our country, that's all about dividing us all up. This country has done pretty well as far as bringing in all the civilizations, all the people from all over the planet into this country and making them Americans. This is the only country that does it. The only country that you can go to and be an American. You can't go to Japan, you'll never be Japanese. You can't go to any other country and be a citizen of that country, fully accepted. But here, you can come to the United States. It doesn't matter what your background is. It doesn't matter what your race is. When you're here, if you want to be American and be part of our culture, you can be. And it's disgusting that we have people that want to divide us up over trivia, the trivia of like race, one of the most trivial things in the world. So it really angers me when I see this at a political party level, where they're willing to rip apart the country for their own political gain, where they're willing to allow massive floods of people into this country knowing that they're going to vote Democrat to get power and stay in power. And they're making all sorts of actions right now to see if once they get full power, they get the presidency in both houses, they'll turn this country socialist real quick.
They'll get rid of the electoral college, and they'll go socialist, and we will never turn this ship around.
Exactly. So the threat people are feeling right now is real. As you said, I post about the Cold Civil War, which if you talk to a lot of veterans, especially the folks that have been in special forces, the special operators, they look at this country and see it in a Cold Civil War.
Have you had any of them on?
Say again, sir?
Have you had any of them on, Sarge? Any of the veterans and people you've been talking to? Have you been able to bring any of them on to your channel?
Not yet. I'm still a small channel, just still growing.
Well, listen, let's change that. Everybody who's watching this stream, give them the name of the channel. I don't want to mess it up.
It's called The Old Sergeant Perspective.
Okay, I had that right. I told the other kid to look you up. The Old Sergeant Perspective. You got to subscribe to his channel. We got to get him to 1,000 subscribers. That's the key number. With 1,000 subscribers, he's going to be able to live stream. He's going to be able to monetize the channel. He's going to be able to do a lot of things. We did it for the Closet on the Right. We got to do it for the Old Sarge. He's doing God's work. He really is. And, you know, I'm not blowing smoke. Sarge, anything else you want to lay on us before we go?
Nope, I think you've had a lot of good callers tonight. I'm sorry I missed a lot of your program, but right. I'll get to see it next time, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and it's all recorded there. God bless you, Sarge. I thank you so much for calling me, man. I really wanted your perspective. I texted you earlier because this is really this is your field. I mean, this is what you work on. This is what your channel is about. So I'm grateful to you.
Thank you much, sir. All the best.